I'm here with Congressman Bill Johnson from Ohio to talk about something that I think is really of great importance to the American public. And I say that we've gone from seeing the left launch a war on energy to now they've launched a war on the economy. And there's nothing that I think that illustrates this better than what they're doing in regard to natural gas and particularly liquefied natural gas. And you've introduced a bill that I think will really address this, Unlocking Our Domestic LNG Potential Act. So I'd like for you to talk a little bit about that and why that's important, particularly important to the American economy.
Gary, LNG is so important. We've got more than enough to be energy independent here in America. And what many people don't understand is that the kind of gas, the kind of liquid natural gas that we have here in America, it's cleaner because of the type of gas it is, but it's also cleaner because of the way we go about harvesting it. The bill that you're referring to is essentially opening the door to exporting more liquid natural gas.
Back in 2013 or so, Harvard and Boston Globe issued a report that showed that American manufacturing was within 5% of Chinese manufacturing costs. The shale revolution had brought the price of natural gas down from around $10, $12 per million BTUs down to less than $3.
Right.
We've now seen that jump back up because of the Biden administration policies. And it's created a dynamic that we've never seen before. We're seeing food prices at record levels. And what you're doing with your bill, I think, will not only allow us to export LNG, it'll bring the price down here and it'll bring the price of food down.
Well, it will, Gary. Do you remember what happened? You were here when we lifted the ban on crude exports, crude oil exports in 2015. Remember what happened to the world price of gas?
Right.
It came down, right? That was part of what stimulated energy independence. Under the previous administration, before Joe Biden took office, we were energy independent for the first time in 70 years.
And you get this. There's four things the modern world depends on. It's cement, it's steel, plastic, and fertilizer. You can't have any of that without natural gas. You can't build a solar farm. You can't build a wind farm. You can't build anything without all or some of those elements. If you were to take natural gas out of the equation on fertilizer, it would cut world food supply in half.
I mean, so much of modern life is dependent on natural gas. I know you're not. I'm not against alternative forms of energy if they work. And our colleagues on the left are trying to implement this rush to green energy initiative because going so fast, it's going to cost a lot of money, but it's also going to destroy the quality of life for the American people. The American people need to know we are far more dependent on China today for the critical materials that are required to make electric vehicles, solar panels, and windmills than we are on OPEC for oil than we have ever been, right? So we are so dependent on China today for those critical materials to implement the very green, rush to green initiatives that the Biden administration want to pursue.
This is the kind of stuff that I think that the American people expect us to do. And I appreciate you bringing this bill.
Thank you very much, Gary.
Thanks for being on with us.
Appreciate your leadership too.